Доброго дня, це медіа-центр України.
Good afternoon, this is Media Center Ukraine and Odesa. We are continuing our briefing day, and our next topic is Expo 2030. Ukraine wants to host Expo 2030 in Odesa. And today, our guests will tell about the presentation of the Odesa's application in Paris and what is the probability of Ukraine and Odesa to be chosen to host this world exhibition? Today we have with us Roman Hrygoryshyn, Deputy Chief of the Odesa Military Administration, Evgeny Levenberg, Head of the NGO Public Council EXPO-2030, also in person, and we have online with us Yanika Merilo, Advisor to the Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. Would like to welcome everyone, and I will give floor to Roman. Good afternoon, dear friends. Yes, 2 weeks ago, we presented Ukrainian bid in Paris at the General Assembly of PIE, where all the representatives of 170 states that vote were present. It is very important that Ukraine was the first to present its bid, and it was started with the welcoming word of the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyi. And this is the first sign for Odesa and the Odesa Oblast in general. When it comes to important events that Ukraine want to host, Odesa was exception, like Eurovision twice and Euro 2012. That's why this is the mandate of the President's team and the President himself in terms of trust and faith in Odesa and the population of our oblast. And I believe that with this support, we are very likely to win. And I think that most of you saw the welcoming speech of our president and his warm words about Odesa and the fact that the whole world can meet in Odesa, in our city, to celebrate the victory of good over evil. Our competitors also presented their bids. It is very difficult for us to be objective, but when it comes to our internal feelings, we for sure were not the worst. And now I would like to come back to the past, to the start of the military aggression, when Maxim Marchenko was appointed as the head of Odesa Military Administration, and I remember when we first discussed the possibility of hosting Expo 2030, there was some skepticism, but we made a decision to do everything possible to host the exhibition. Now, like 9 months later, I can say that we not only managed to follow the regulation, but we also meet the status of a favorite city, not only basing on the political situation, but also when it comes to our partners, allies, and actually the Zaha Hadid Group Bureau also with us. Some believe that our bid was one of the best. We liked the presentation of Korea. The presentation of Saudi Arabia did not meet our expectations. We should also say that the main person of Ukrainian team was the leader of our state, our president. Saudi Arabia was represented by 2 ministers, Minister of Communication and Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the princess of the state. Korea was represented by the Prime Minister, and Italy was represented by the Rome mayor. As for the chances, we're among the favorites, and I believe that the decision could be geopolitical to support us or pragmatic to choose Saudi Arabia. And I don't believe that the South Korea or Italy have any chances. There were unofficial meetings with the delegations of countries, and we've talked about this already. We should note warm and important support even from our partners, because they understand the situation of Ukraine in general and Odesa in particular. Yes, we speak about competition here, but all our competitors demonstrate solidarity with us. And have recently had a telecom with the head of the project Rome Expo 2030, and once again they emphasized their solidarity with us and their support to our bid. I would also like to provide a brief comment about the part that was presented by Zaha Hadid Bureau. There was the presentation of our pavilions. The materials that will be used for the construction will be the parts of the destroyed buildings during the war, so it will be symbolic. They will be also mobile. No carbon will be used, so they will be environmentally friendly. And later on, these pavilions can be deconstructed and used in different countries, for example, in Morocco or some other country for constructing school, or in some other parts of Ukraine. I would also like to emphasize that the main concept of our team, this is the concept of possibility of using territory and the infrastructure of the Expo, focusing on the IT development to make Odesa an anchor point, to invite IT experts from all over Ukraine to our city. The second part of my today's speech is related to the diplomatic front. I would like to note that in private conversations and on social media, there is opinion that we're in war now, so how can we talk about Expo 2030? We cannot and has no right as the military administration to take future from children and from people who lost their relatives during the war. We can't say them that we are going to think about future in 2 or 3 months or after our victory. We should do everything possible to capitalize the hype and the support to Ukraine to the maximum extent possible, to convert this to investments, new jobs, new economic processes, for the state to be able to quickly develop after the victory, and to create economic benefits and to repay to the people who have given so much to this war. So for those who say that we should have enough tasks, they should think twice. So we have different front lines now, not only there in the combat zone, but also the economic front line. And Expo 2030 will be held in Odesa. We also used the possibility to visit Paris, to visit France, to make our presentation, to hold a range of meetings. And I would like to focus on a very important aspect of the interregional cooperation. When our team came to the Odesa Regional Administration, we had the following partners: 5 partners in Russia, 4 in Belarus, 2 in Moldova, 2 in Romania. So this was within the CIS and some neighboring countries. Nowadays, our team, under the management of Mr. Marchenko, has been cooperating with 10 more new partners, for example, with Provence in France, and we have signed the declaration with them, and in January we are going to sign the agreement. We have been in negotiation with Florida, with Texas, with the Valence province in Italy, with Battenberger in Germany. And I can say for sure that after this war, Odesa will have new partners and new friends, and Odesa will be for sure a part of the European community and not the community of Belarus or Russia, because Odesa is a European international city and not the part of the Russian Empire. With the Provence, we have been working closely. On Friday, their parliament will vote for allocating new budgets for recovery of the Odesa Oblast. The situation in France at the Forum of Regions, they have made a decision to take a region partner in Ukraine. We are happy to have Provence as our partner. We have signed the declaration with them. We attended the Mediterranean Forum, and there is the decision underway to allocate the first resources. We have two groups: emergency needs, what we need right now because of the blackouts and the power supply issues, and the connection issues, and long-term needs. So we will create the joint team that will work on the plan to recover Odesa Oblast, focusing on the economy. We had a meeting with Bernard-Henri Lévy. This is a prominent historian and philosopher and the documentalist. He has been shooting a documentary about the war in Ukraine now. He's the friend of our president and of the president of France, Mr. Macron. He is the first person to express the willingness of being ambassador of Odesa within Expo 2030. And this is one of our tasks, to have among our partners, among our friends, those people who can just take their phone to call the leaders of the world states. This is also an important part of our work to recover Odesa in the future and to win Expo 2030, and also to solve other issues and to meet needs in these difficult times. This is all on my side. Thank you very much for your speech. Now I would like to give floor to Ms. Yanika Merilo. She is online with us today. Yes, thank you very much. I would like to speak about the IT component of Expo 2030 and ambassador plans. And I would like to speak first about what is meant by ambassadors and IT solutions. The Expo is not only the future, but this is a huge boost for the development of our economy for the next decades. There are different calculations that prove that those cities that have already hosted this world exhibition gained a significant boost for the economic and terrorist development. But our future is also IT solutions. That's why it is very important that Expo is also a platform to demonstrate our skills and our IT solutions that we can create. Expo is a huge platform for our IT experts to demonstrate their skills and solutions, and also for our creative circles to demonstrate their achievements. We tell a lot about artificial intelligence and other issues, but we can prove that these are not just words, but that we can also implement such solutions within such platform as Expo 2030. This is also an important promotion for our IT companies that develop such solutions. This is also the possibility to demonstrate our companies, our startups, our IT service providers, and also their skills for them to find partners. Expo is also the platform for the countries coming to Odesa and also for us, for Odesa, to show its solutions to the world. Estonia is a digital country. And I would like to make an example of this country because for the last 10 years, Estonia has made presentation all over the world. And then they gained trust of different investors who started providing their investments. For example, Estonia now celebrates the biggest investments in Eastern Europe. So the world learned about their skills, about their solutions, about their human resources. And this is also the case for us. We have more than 300,000 IT experts, and Odesa has already become a significant IT hub. And also, the creative industry is very powerful in our city. This is also the opportunity to find new partners and to advertise Ukraine and Odesa, in particular the Odesa region, as a creative region, and also to find new partners in this area. It is also important that this will provide boost not only for Expo itself, but also for the IT solutions, digital solutions related to this exhibition. And I also hope to have a significant boost in terms of the solutions even before the Expo, like e-ticket for new transportation. We have discussed e-ticket so much that we are finally ready to introduce this all over the region. This is also about safe and secure city and oblast for people residing here feel safer here, not only for the tourists to feel safer. This is also about healthcare, where different IT solutions can be used not only during Expo, but also after the exhibition. Hopefully, we will get the number 112 to call for emergency services and police and other services. Ukraine is the only country of Europe, not to mention Belarus, that doesn't have the single number for all emergency services to be called. So Expo will become a significant boost for digital reforms for our residents to use them afterwards. The solutions that we have discussed so much but have not implemented yet. But Expo is also the possibility to boost different reforms and solutions. And it is also very important to show Odesa Oblast, and Ukraine in general to the world. And for this, we will use ambassadors. And the ambassadors will be prominent figures all over the world and from different sectors that will help us to be selected as a finalist to host the Expo. This is on the one hand, and on the other hand, to speak about our country and about the opportunities that we have, not only IT solutions. These ambassadors can promote our region and Odesa in particular. So hopefully in the nearest future, we will learn about new ambassadors for Odesa Expo 2030 and Ukraine in general that will be able to persuade everyone that Odesa is the city to host the World Exhibition. So please look forward for the IT solutions that we are going to launch before Expo, and you can also see the new services that the Ministry of Digital Transformation announces. And we hope to get new friends that will promote Odesa now for the whole world. Thank you. Thank you very much for this very interesting presentation. Now I would like to give floor to Mr. Evgeny Levenberg, head of the NGO Public Council Expo 2030. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the given floor. The NGO Public Council Expo 2030 has been established to unite the efforts of the civil society, business, and the state. Now the NGO includes a lot of business representatives that help to promote our project at the international level. For the world to better know and know more about Ukraine, Odesa, for the Odesa to be sure to host the World Exhibition. The main objective of our organization is to help Ukraine to be victorious. The NGO has been working to involve as many funds and as many partners as possible to promote Odesa and Ukraine at the international level in terms of hosting Expo 2030. As for the first meeting of the organizational committee that took part in November, and the head of the committee, Yuris Sviridenko, the Deputy Minister of Economy, was aimed at providing information about the progress in relation to the Expo 2030. We discussed all the stages that already took place and that are planned for the future. We should promote at the international level the Expo itself and why it should be hosted by Odesa. The NGO and the Odesa military administration have been inviting partners and ambassadors to help us with the promotion. We have been conducting many negotiations with our partners with regard to investments. We have held a range of meetings for the Expo to be hosted in Odesa. We have a lot of partners. Unfortunately, we lost some of them with the war, so we have a bit less partners than we used to have before the war, but we still have partners that support us. We would also like to thank Ukrainian business that in such difficult times continue helping Ukraine. And we are also thankful to the new partners that have been joining our project. For example, we have the meeting with the ambassador of Sweden who just fell in love with Odesa, and he said that he was sure that Odesa will win the Expo, and he also promised us to provide financial support, so we are waiting for this. There are a lot of humanitarian organizations that have been supporting Ukraine, including Global Empower Mission. Such organizations help us with the sleeping bags, generators, food, and other commodities. They are also ready to support us with Expo 2030 and provide finances and funds and to become our ambassadors. To avoid further questions about should we host Expo 2030 in Odesa, we must. This can be compared with buying tickets to the temporarily occupied territories. The tickets will be bought because everyone believes in our victory and in our armed forces, and I'm sure that Odesa will host Expo 2030. Thank you. Thank you. I have a question to Mr. Hrygoryshyn. Can we find information about dossier that Odesa presented in Paris? Thank you for your question. The dossier will be soon uploaded to the Expo 2030 website, and everyone will get access to it. At the General Assembly that took place 2 weeks ago, the dossier was approved by all candidates. So before the presentation at the General Assembly, you could not publish it. There was no direct prohibition, but that would be wrong to publish it before that. Do we have questions from the floor? Michael Vasura, Newsweek magazine. I understand that the work is ongoing, that you're actively involved with the project. As for the last decision of the committee, what else should you do? Can you still influence the process, but or everything depends on the jury at this stage? Thank you very much. Would you prefer Ukrainian or Russian? Depends on your preferences. The decision will the decision has a geopolitical nature because the ministries of foreign affairs of every member state vote. So they instruct of the representative of the PIE how to vote. As for the impact of our work, of course it is impactful, because without the dossier that we prepared, the Odesa would have already lost the chance. If we had prepared poorly or badly to the presentation in Paris, then the representatives of countries would have thought that it is of no interest for us. But they are just honor how we struggle for this Expo 2030. So we work from the basements. We should stop telecoms because of the air alerts, and it is very difficult to discuss the issue with our partners and international companies, saying that there are shellings happening right now, but please, could you at the same time support our team with resources and funds? A lot depends on our work. But of course, it also depends on the Ukrainian mission that will be created at the beginning of the next year, whose task is to visit a range of countries whose votes we will struggle for, because they are the countries like Poland that has already stated through their ministers that they will support Ukraine and that they will vote for Ukraine. There are some other countries, like the EU countries, that we rely on whose support we rely on. And we hope that this will be a complex decision at the meeting of the Council of the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the EU countries. But there are some other countries where we could organize promotion with the support of our strategic partners, like the UK, the USA, or France. And there is one more group of countries that we should visit to persuade them. For this, we are going to establish the Ukrainian mission. And I think you will be surprised with the person who will be the head of the mission. That will be an ambassador, which is known all over the world. And we should also ensure the proper activities of this mission. So we speak about logistics, accommodation, food, etc. We understand that even under the limitations of our legislation, we cannot spend state budget to organize the work of this mission. That is why it is very important for us to be supported by donors, and we understand the difficult situation of Ukrainian businesses. That's why our main focus now is international partners. And of course, all these processes will be open, we will be accountable and provide all reports. Thank you. Do you have any other questions? Thank you. Thank you for being here with us today, and would like to thank separately Ms. Merilo. Thank you for joining us online. You will continue working on the bid for Expo 2030, and we hope to see you soon with some news about the application. Thank you. We are going to have the next briefing just in half an hour, so please stay tuned.
Дякую.